To find the domain in question number 1, it is very much clear that x can be any real number. There is no restriction to x. And definitely one thing in the range side that I can see that first of all my x is never ever minus. It is at minimum it will be 0. So the minimum value of fx will ultimately become just 1 and it will go from 1 to infinity. Taking question number 2, we realize my x here should not be a complex, it should be a real number. Therefore my x will always be from 0 to infinity. It's 0. And considering its range, it because the minimum value of x here can be 0, so my root x can be 0 at minimum. The minimum value of f of x will become just 1 and it will go from 1 to all the way towards infinity. Considering 3, definitely here this has to be a real number, so my 5x plus 10 has to be more than 0. Therefore my x is always more than or equal to 0, so my x is always going to be more than or equal to minus 2. Therefore my x can lie from minus 2 to all the way towards infinity. Considering the range part, well, range is at minimum my x is minus 2. So at minimum my f of x will be just 0 and it will never ever be negative, definitely. So it is going from 0 to infinity. Considering the 4, well, in the fourth part I have x square minus 3x. This has to be definitely more than 0 or equal to 0, so it is included. Can you say it? This part, if I just got 2 critical points here, one critical point is 0, the other is 3, and they are close, so they are included. If I put 1 or if I put 2 in the place of x, I will get negative values, and if I put more than 3 or less than 0 values, I am always gonna get more than 0 or a positive value. So this and this ranges are going to satisfy this equation, and hence my solution for x in this is always will belong to all the real number except 1 and 2. Considering the range of g of x, well, my x squared, yeah, it is always the minimum value of gx. If you pay close attention to this, my g of x will be like, it can go from all the real value, but it will never here my g of x should be all real number. If my g of x will belong to all real numbers, then taking 5, I have, of course, this should not be equal to 0. Otherwise my f of t will go to positive and minus infinity at the same time, which is not very acceptable. Therefore my t will belong to all real number except 3. And if you consider the range here, it is just all the real numbers. Nothing to discuss much more. 6. Again here, this should not be 0. Therefore, my t is just plus minus 4. And my g of t will be all real numbers. That's it.